Hello, and welcome to Azeroth United, the podcast where we talk about World of Warcraft Dragonflight, World of Warcraft Classic, and everything in between. My name is Denethor, and I am your host.
Welcome everyone to Azeroth United. Thank you so much for joining us. Today is a very special day because it's Patch Day. That's right, Dragonflight patch 10.2.5, Seeds of Renewal, launched today on North America servers. So, got a lot to talk about there. We've got a lot to talk about in general. We've got a great show planned for you today. So, relax, sit back, and enjoy the show. And as always, if you have any questions or comments about the podcast, or if you have a particular topic that you'd like to hear discussed, please email me at denethor1@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Or you can leave a voice message by going to speakpipe.com/Azeroth United. Also, if you enjoy the show, please do consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps out the distribution, so if you're inclined to do so, we'd appreciate it. It's been quite the week. Last week, I got up to quite a bit. I actually got into a heroic raid last week on my Resto Druid. Got 4 bosses down, which was a lot of fun. Didn't think we were going to get Laradar, but we did. So that was cool. We did, let's see, I did some more M+ on my Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is a lot of fun, although I'm not sure how hard I want to push on Mythic Plus right now, because most of the really good players have stopped doing middle keys, and he's not really ready for the big boy keys yet, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I did. I dusted off my Og Evoker. That was actually pretty cool. I have no idea. So let me rephrase that. I dusted off my Preservation Evoker and turned him into an Og Evoker. There we go. Yeah, Og is pretty fun. It's a lot of kind of you're managing things. You're not really doing things. You're helping people. You're using your utility spells. It's pretty cool. I know that they're really popular in high level keys, but yeah, it was fun. I was having a good time with my little lizard boy out there. So that was pretty cool. And and I also dusted off my Blood DK. Seeing the the voting for which we'll get into later. All the voting for the tier sets for season 4 got me pumped to play my Blood DK again. So yeah, got him into some low keys, but yeah, it's a really good week. The affixes weren't terrible. I have to say I didn't dislike them. It wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I just have to be careful with the trash. Yeah, so it was a good week overall, and I just started collecting all of my vault treasures. Nothing exciting so far. I think I might have gotten a pair of pants on my Demon Hunter so I had a veteran pants and I got hero pants, so that's good. So anyway, yeah, it's a good week, but yeah, like I said, the raid was really fun. Heroic raid is good. I gotta say, the normal raid doesn't impress me at all. It's not super exciting. It's too easy in my opinion. The heroic raid is fun. I feel like that's the real raid. I feel like the mythic raid is just, let's throw crap at you and see if we can mess you up. But yeah, heroic, a lot of fun. I ran with a WoW Made Easy group, and I can't recommend WoW Made Easy enough. So if you are unsure about getting into higher keys or the raid, and you want a group to be able to run with, they're a great group. Only in North America. I think there's an EU equivalent, but anyway, yeah. So like I said, good week, but yeah, there's so much going on and so much to talk about. So let's just get into it.
It's time for the news.
In Blizzard news, this isn't really Blizzard news. It's Blizzard adjacent because it's gaming news, but it involves Blizzard. So, yeah, Ubisoft, the Ubisoft director of subscriptions, Philip Tremblay, He spoke to, I don't even know what the interview was with. A bunch of different news sites picked up the interview, so I don't actually know what the original interview was with. Doesn't really matter. He's talking about getting gamers comfortable with not owning their games. So much like we have with Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever, we don't actually own any of that stuff. We just stream it. We're renting it. We're borrowing it long term. We can watch it whenever we want as long as we keep paying the fee. But as soon as we stop paying the fee, we own nothing. So, they're trying to get that same type of thing into gaming, and it's been tried before. And I think eventually we're going to get to that point where streaming is the default method of release for all these new video games. Smaller studios are going to have to make deals with some of the bigger streaming platforms to be able to launch their games, much like people get their game launched on Steam right now. It's going to be the same thing with gaming. And the reason that I bring this up is because Ubisoft is going to be getting the Activision Blizzard catalog, minus World of Warcraft likely, over the next few years. So games like Overwatch, Diablo, StarCraft, those are all going to show up on Ubisoft's new gaming streaming platform, which has been rebranded to Ubisoft Plus Premium. So yeah, it's an interesting little news article there. I'll have a link to the article that I saw. It's interesting commentary on the state of gaming in general. So, in other news, the Dragonflight Twitch drop for the Grim Campfire toy was moved to January 23rd. So they originally announced it was going to be January 16th today, and they moved it to the 23rd. So I guess there was some issue there. So, that's next week. If you want to support your favorite streamers and get a cool toy in World of Warcraft, you can watch 4 hours of streaming. And as long as you have your Twitch account linked to your Battle.net account, you will get the Grim Campfire toy. So check out your favorite WoW streamer. I always say support small streamers because the big streamers don't need any help. The small streamers definitely do. So find someone with just a few viewers or 0 viewers and pop in and say hi. You might scare them if they're not used to people showing up, but it wouldn't hurt. So check that out. In Wrath Classic, the guild Progress on EU Gehennas achieved the world first, and I'm using air quotes here, world first, Ruby Sanctum on Wrath Classic. They defeated Halion in just over 12 minutes after the launch of Ruby Sanctum. Woo! 12 minutes. Oh no. I'm surprised it lasted that long. So there you go. Wrath is done. It's over, and we'll wait for Cataclysm. So congratulations to Progress. I think they killed that was the world first Lich King as well. So anyway, okay, so this topic, I wanted to just go over this real quickly because so last week we talked about the, and it's been all over the news cycles, the voting for the Season 4 tier sets and tier set bonuses. So they're going to create a amalgamation set for all the classes and all of the specs. So the players got to vote for what they wanted the set to look like, whether it was Dragonflight Season 1, 2, or 3, and what they wanted their specs set bonuses to be, Dragonflight Season 1, 2, or 3. And some of the ones that won, I'm really unsure if it was a meme vote or if it was, this is what players really like. Because I mean, okay, so obviously everybody has a different aesthetic when it comes to their transmog and their gear. People like different things, and that's fine. I get it. I do understand, and I have different styles that I like for my different characters. My female characters, I like them to be a little bit more sleek and streamlined. My male characters, I like them to have, more defined, muscly sets. Not like huge orc shoulders, but anyway. So the to no one's surprise, the Death Knight Season 3 set was declared the winner. That's it's such a good set. That's, to me, that's one of the all-time classic Death Knight sets. It is so good. It's got just the right amount of skulls and spikes, and Yeah, and the colors on it are good too. I mean, it's an overall really, really good, strong set. The Demon Hunter Season 3 set also, I like it. I think it has, I like the idea of it more than the reality of it, but it's a good set. I can see why that one won. The Season 2 set was terrible, let's be honest. And the Season 1 set was like the Power Ranger set. So the Season 3 set is good. I'm okay with that. The Druid Season 2 set, yeah, the Druid sets have all been terrible. So you pick the best of the terrible ones, and at least the pants on this one are kind of interesting. The Evoker set, first of all, what does it matter? You're getting 2 pieces from this set. You're getting the belt and you're getting the shoulders, and that's it. So whatever. I really wish that Blizzard had thought that one through with the Evoker tier sets, or just, they don't need to be able to wear all the gear, but make their tier sets show up when they're in lizard form. Please, come on. Especially now that I'm playing my Evoker again, it's so frustrating. I have to go run between my yak and the barbershop constantly trying to get my transmog. It's so frustrating. Anyway, the Hunter set, I don't even know what we're doing here. This looks like it's the Season 1 set from Vault of the Incarnates. It looks like a giant chicken. It's terrible. I don't know who voted for this. The other sets were at least passable. This is just god awful. So I think the Hunters got trolled, honestly. I can't imagine that all the Hunters sitting there going, yeah, this is what I want. The Mage Season 3, obviously, that's another classic set with that hat. I mean, you got to have the wizard hat. So that one's good. I do wish that the pants were a little bit better, but I'm not going to complain. It's fine. I'm good with it. It's good. My mage is fine. He's good. The Monk set is the Season 1. Now, this is a good set. I don't love sets with no shoes, generally speaking, or with bad shoes. So, because I'm not a big toes sticking out fan. But in this case, this is a pretty good set, especially for monks, because, you know, it's like I don't know, like a kung fu robot or something. I don't know. It's a cool set though. I like that. So Monk Season 1, good set. It's got the orbs on the shoulders, and it's a decent set. The Paladin Season 2, that one is another classic. Yeah, love that one. I'm gonna try and get the the big set on my Paladin, the Mythic set, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. That's a big ask. I would love to get that set. Anyway, yeah, the Paladin, and then the Priest Season 2 also. The Priest Season 2 is probably one of the all-time classic transmog sets, or tier sets, period. That's a great set. Absolutely just classic. So good. Rogue Season 3. So I saw, I think it might have been Taliesin that called it the Shredder set, and it's the Shredder set. It's got the claws on the hands. It's got the Shredder face mask. It's Shredder. So yeah, this one's fine. This is a good set. Good call, Rogues. Shaman Season 3. The big wolf shoulders has never done it for me. It doesn't help that my Shaman is a female Draenei, so the shoulders always look weird on her. But yeah, it's fine. I don't play Shaman, so I have no vote. Warlock Season 2. This one is another really good set. This isn't one of the classics. It's kind of like just a generic evil sorcerer type set. It's fine. I like it. It's a good set. And the Warrior Season 2, which is my least favorite of the Warriors tier sets this expansion, but apparently a lot of people like this one, so that's fine. I don't wear any of the tier sets. I don't have any of the tier sets on my transmog from Dragonflight, because they're just, in my opinion, they're all bad. But like I said, I like my my female characters to be more sleek and streamlined, and this is very bulky and boxy. So, right. So the appearances, they were cool. I looked through the bonuses, and obviously I'm going to look at the ones that pertain to the characters that I play. The Death Knight Season 2 for Blood. That's the Heartstrike and Vampiric Blood. Heartstrike Blood Boil and Vampiric Blood set bonus. That one's pretty good. Havoc Demon Hunter Season 3. yeah, I don't like Throwglaive. I just really don't like Throwglaive, and that's what won. And I do like that it reduces the cooldown on the hunt. That's really fun. But I also don't love using the hunt in the middle of a fight. I feel like the hunt is a great opener, but wow, that's fine. Druid Restoration Season 3. I hate the set bonus for Season 3 because I hate the Grove Guardians. Honestly, they're good, but I hate them. It's annoying to remember to cast them. I feel like so many times I have hit the button for the Grove Guardians and it just casts 2 of them. And I'm like, no, I don't want 2. I just wanted 1. So I had to make a macro with a weight, like a stop casting weight. And anyway, it's annoying. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, Retribution Paladin. Yeah, Season 3 set bonus. That one's fine. Expurgation and Wrathful Sanctification. Yeah, it's fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just it is. It doesn't really change your playstyle. You keep doing things the same. I guess you're going to cast more judgments. Really, is the only thing. But the Frost Mage Season 3. This is great. Glacial Spike is a great Frost Mage spell. So this really just helps. And the Fury Warrior. Oh, thank goodness Season 2 won, because I hate the new Odin's Fury build in Season 3. It's awful. I miss the old Rampage build. I loved it. So yeah, that's what we got. And if you want to check out what your favorite class and spec received as far as the set bonuses go, I'll put a link in the show notes to the Wowhead article, because Blizzard hasn't actually announced it yet. So we're assuming that the sets that got the most votes, or the bonuses that got the most votes, is the winner, but maybe Blizzard has some formula behind the scenes that they're going to use to get rid of meme votes and duplicate votes and whatnot. So we will see. That's it for the news. So let's get into World of Warcraft.
Let's talk about World of Warcraft.
This week is Dragonflight Season 3, Week 10. The Mythic Plus affixes are Tyrannical, Afflicted, and Bolstering. Yeah, this doesn't suck at all. Actually, this isn't terrible, because Afflicted and Tyrannical, while it's annoying to have to deal with the Afflicted mobs during the Tyrannical fight, it's whatever. And Bolstering isn't affected during Tyrannical, so yeah, this could be a lot worse. Tyrannical bosses have 30% more health and deal 15% more damage. Afflicted, while in combat, afflicted souls periodically appear and seek the aid of players. They must be healed to full or be dispelled before they're cast. Yeah, it's that one's annoying. And then Bolstering is non-boss enemies buff nearby allies on death, increasing damage by 20%. This effect stacks. So yeah, not my favorite week, but not the worst. Not the worst week. My biggest complaint about Afflicted is that it takes the healer's attention away from healing, and it takes a dispel away from the group. So yeah, I don't like that part of it, but it's manageable. You can deal with it. So it is what it is. I'm really hoping that for War Within, we get rid of the Afflicted and Incorporeal affixes, but yeah, we'll see. Bolstering is, just burn that last 20% as fast as you can. Don't wait around, and yeah, that's that. So, and don't pull another group into your existing group, or you get Mega Boss. Just one shot your tank. The weekly event this week is the Arena Skirmish bonus event. So you'll be able to get the quest, The Arena Calls, which is win 10 Arena Skirmish battles, which will reward you with Conquest and Honor. And you'll get a buff, which is the Sign of the Skirmisher, which is honor gains from Arena Skirmishes increased by 50%. This is a very underwhelming bonus event week, honestly. I wish they would combine this with the Battleground bonus event, because, Arena Skirmishes, come on. Nobody's doing that for... Anyway, The PvP brawl this week is no, it's not Cooking Impossible. That was last week. Oh, this is the Temple of Khop-Mogu. Enter the Temple of Khop-Mogu for this fast-paced match. For a whole new twist, players will be able to throw the Orb of Power to friendly players in a game of hot potato. Beware, they'll also gain the debuffs along with the orb, so choose wisely. So this is the really cool part about this is the fast res timer, so players just keep running back in. If you haven't checked out the brawls, definitely go check it out. I've done the last couple of brawls and it's been a lot of fun. You can get the quest Something Different, which will reward you with Conquest, Honor, and Marks of Honor. The Marks of Honor are great for Transmog. I'm not going to lie. That's really the only reason I do it, because I want the Transmog set. So anyway, the Revival Catalyst is now weekly. Yay! So our 6th charge will be this week, and our 7th charge will be next week, and then it'll just carry on like that. So I will not be discussing this in the future, because we'll just get one every week, and it'll just be a thing. And then the Dream Sparks, really, we don't need to really think about this, because once you get to the 6th, 7th, 8th spark, it doesn't really matter. So hope you got your crafted gear all set up. If not, there'll be another spark this week, and then one more on the 30th, and so on every 2 weeks. The Outland Cup. So we did mention last week that it was moved on the calendar to accommodate the later launch date for patch 10.2.5. So it will be January 18th to the 31st. The reward looks like it's going to be a different color of the Drake Racer set from the Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdom Cups, which is cool. And then there's the I think you can buy, there's a Drake manuscript for, this is the one that randomizes the Drake appearances. So that's pretty cool. And if you complete all the Outland Cup races on gold, you can get the Outland Racing Completionist, which gives you a title and a tabard. So fun. Blizzard also announced that the upcoming Dragon Riding Cup events will be Northrend Cup April 9th through the 22nd, Pandaria Cup July 2nd through July 15th, and the Broken Isles Cup October 10th through October 23rd. So, and then the Kalimdor Cup will return on January 9th, 2025. It's interesting. So there's an Outland Cup, but no Draenor Cup. So we don't get to go back to Draenor. And there's no Kultiras Cup or Zandalar Cup. So I don't know. It's who knows what they're doing. But yeah, looking forward to that. Look, the Broken Isles Cup will likely be during the War Within. So that'll be kind of interesting. And I would suspect that the next two, Northrend and Pandaria, that'll be probably the same thing as we're getting for Outland Cup. So we'll see. We'll get more information on that as we get closer to those events. The Call of the Scarab micro holiday event is January 21st to 23rd. On January 23rd, 2006, a bloody war was triggered by a simple sound, the banging of a gong. No rallying fanfare, no bloodthirsty yell, just an eerie silence. Those long, uneasy seconds of dread, the calm before the storm. Standing shoulder to shoulder before the Scarab Wall, no one could have predicted what would happen. An epic 10-hour battle that claimed the lives of thousands of Azeroth's bravest, or fully comprehend the effect it would have. Yeah, to commemorate the first ringing of the Scarab Gong on January 23rd, 2006, players will be able to relive a portion of the Encourage gate opening by collecting items for turn-in. The winning faction will then be able to claim bragging rights to have their faction flag hang over the gates until the next Call of the Scarab micro-holiday event, which will be next year. So this is a really cool one. I guess there used to be a really great XP farm that you could do by turning in the quests. It's just a vanilla traded goods mats, but it apparently doesn't award the huge amount of XP that it used to. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, if you want to go check that out, it's a 3-day event. Turn-ins, and then I guess the ceremonial re-ringing of the gong. So cool. Let's see. Oh, nope, that's it. So hotfixes for the week. We've got in Dragonflight, we've got Tindral Sage Swift. He got smacked down with the Nerf bat. So removed a cast of Firebeam in Phase 1. Flaming Germination's damage reduced by 25%. The number of Flare Bombs reduced to 3. Empowering Flames damage increased by 35%. Germinating Aura now prevents players from destroying a seed, but no longer spawns a flaming tree. And the number of seeds spawned is now reduced by 4. So these are all on Mythic. So this is designed to get people into the Hall of Fame because they can't even get past Tendril, so they can't make attempts on Farok. There's been a lot of discussion about how difficult the last 2 bosses in this raid are on Mythic, and there's definitely a limited number of people who have completed this raid on Mythic difficulty, and I think Blizzard is kind of worried that because of the truncated Season 3 and Season 4 schedule that they've got crammed into the beginning of this year, what if we don't fill up the Hall of Fame before Season 3 ends? What would happen? So, yeah, they're really hitting him hard with a Nerf bat, which is great. In Season of Discovery, they've got some class tuning in there. So for Hunters, they're buffing their shots, Chimera Shot, Explosive Shot, and they're nerfing the pet damage. They're really trying to get hunter pets under damaged and make the hunters themselves do more damage. So, that's I guess it's a difficult balance. And then priests, they are reducing the amount of healing by rune abilities. Priests are outperforming other healers significantly. This adjustment will apply to Prayer of Mending, Penance, and Circle of Healing. So goodbye, Prayer of Mending. It was nice knowing you. Everybody's talked about how great Prayer of Mending is, and so it's 20% nerf, but you'll feel it. So that's what's going on in Season of Discovery. I think that's it for the what's going on in World of Warcraft. There was a Wowhead article where they talked about the runes wish list for Discovery's Season of Discovery Phase 2. And I was looking at this list, and it's awful because it's like it was written by somebody who doesn't actually know what Classic is like. They just found really cool spells that they liked in current WoW, and were like, hey, why don't we give Boomkins Eclipse? No, how about we don't? Why don't we get Paladin's Aura Mastery? No, let's not do that. Anyway, it's we don't need to turn Season of Discovery into modern WoW. I think that what Blizzard have done so far with the rune system has been great, and they're going to do some more, and there's going to be some that aren't good. I get it, and that's fine. We don't need all of these ridiculous. We don't need Shockwave for warriors. That's just, it doesn't. No, we don't need that. So I'll put a link to that article. It's actually a kind of a funny read because it's so clueless, and that's unfortunate. But anyway, let's move on to patch 10.2.5 overview.
Let's talk about something new.
So as mentioned before, the patch 10.2.5 Seeds of Renewal released today on North America servers. So we're going to do a deeper dive on the features in this patch and kind of talk about some of the things that are going on there. First off, dragon riding worldwide. So this really isn't a endgame feature. This is more of a quality of life feature. Actually, most of this patch is all quality of life. There's a few quests and things that are endgame related, but even those are really just for cosmetics and whatnot. So if you're hoping for new raid content or Mythic Plus content, this is not the patch for you. But anyway, dragon riding worldwide. So you can now dragon ride in any zone that previously allowed flying. This includes capital cities such as Stormwind and Orgrimmar, Draenor, Kultiras, Zandalar, etc. Zereth Mortis is a really good example of a zone that will allow dragon riding, which that'll be nuts. Could you imagine flying around there on a dragon? Whew. Some notable exceptions. So starting zones like Azure Mist Isle, Blood Mist Isle, Eversong Woods, and Ghostlands are all no flying still. So unfortunately, you can't fly there. PvP zones like Wintergrasp, Tolbarad, Ashran, no flying there. Endgame zones such as Qualdanis, Timeless Isle, the Maw, Korthia, etc. Zones like that. So basically anywhere that you got kicked off your flying mount or you couldn't fly there for whatever reason, you will not be able to dragon ride there. But I do believe you will be able to get onto your dragon riding mount. It just won't fly. So it'll just be a ground mount at that point. So if you really like riding around on your dragon, then cool. The speed for dragon riding will be limited to 85% of the speed in the Dragon Isles, and Blizzard has a note on this that says we are restricting the speed of dragon riding outside the Dragon Isles in order to not make travel times on old world content trivially short. Right. I agree. I feel like it's too fast. It's too fast at 85%. I can't imagine what it would be at 100%. It says here the Dragon Isles continent is pretty massive compared to some of our older continents, so we need to adjust speed accordingly. Yeah, that I agree. I'm just happy to have the dragon flying because honestly, I get on my old mount and I start hitting too because I'm trying to get up in the air, and it feels so weird getting on the old style flying. You point and you just go and you're like, this is so slow. I feel like I'm gonna die. It's just awful. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Speaking of dragon riding, the Drakthir will now be able to dragonfly. So they're going to get 2 new racial abilities. One is empowered soaring, which is your soar is empowered after co-opting the new flight techniques from the dragons of the Dragon Isles. So soar will turn into just dragon riding. And then expedited takeoff, which is soar's cooldown is reduced to 10 seconds. So again, they're just turning it into dragon riding for Drakthir. So you no longer have to be a dragon riding on a dragon, which I thought was the weirdest thing. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And just another reason to keep playing my little Og lizard. So yeah, pretty cool for the Drakthir. The Azerothian Archives is a new weekly event along with new solo and group activities to discover the history of the Dragon Isles. Yeah, this one is this one's interesting because it's a world event and you get tasks to do like in the time rifts, and you're gonna do stuff, but the rewards don't seem to be particularly exciting. There's some transmog, there's some mounts, things like that, but nothing super exciting. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes of this. I don't hate it. It's fun, and I'll probably go do it just to get the transmog and the mounts. But I was hoping that we'd get some sort of a gear upgrade system for alts and whatnot. But if that's not the case, that's not the case. The new Night Elf capital city of Bel Ameth is now open for business. So you can go check that out. It's pretty cool. I looked at it on the PTR. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a little bit more on the live servers, but so 2 interesting additions to Bel Ameth. So one is the Night Elf Child model, and one is a buff for Horde players. So the buff for Horde players is Eyes of the Sentinel, which, yeah, they're being watched. So they're allowed to visit the capital, but you just watch yourselves. And then the child that is there, it's Fennel, and Fennel was the last Night Elf child saved from the burning of Teldrassil by Gen Greymane, and this is in the War of Thorns novel. She was just a baby at the time, and Tronda named the child Fennel, meaning the last in Darnassian. So, yeah. Wowhead also data mined a Night Elf themed tabard, shoulders, and cloak from a vendor in Bel Ameth, so I think those are available now. And then there's cosmetic armor and weapons scattered throughout the little treasures that you can pick up. So I don't know if it's for Night Elf players only or if it's for everyone, but yeah, definitely some cool Night Elf themed transmog. So I'm definitely gonna want to go get all that stuff on my various Night Elf characters. I have I think like 90% Night Elf. So yeah, this is cool. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't hate Bel Ameth. I think it's cool that the Night Elves have a new city, and it's in the Dragon Isles. That's fine. They still have Hyjal. They still have, oh god, I can't even think of the Ashenvale. They have different areas that they still have and still hold. So, yeah. And it's a touchy subject for Night Elf fans, but this is how stories progress, and you don't always get what you want in the story, and that's fine. So yeah, I'm hoping that there's more to come with this because I don't like the idea of the Horde being able to just show up there all the time. Maybe after the Dragon Isles is over or a Dragonflight is over, then the Horde will get kicked out or who knows. Okay. Next is the Gilneas Reclamation. So what is going on in Gilneas? We will find out what is up with the homeland of Azeroth's other orphan race. Yeah. So the Gilneans are going to go take back their home. They're going to go fight, and I think it's the Scarlet Crusade that's there. Hope that's not a spoiler. I saw some information on that, but yeah. And then the Horde will be able to participate in this quest line as well by teaming up with Kalia Menethil and Lillian Voss. The Forsaken will go and help them, which is great because the Forsaken were the reason they left in the first place. But, we're not going to get technical on this. It's like, oh, look at that. Two alliance races that got kicked out of their homes by the Horde. Huh. Interesting. Anyway. Yeah, so I guess there'll be like some transmog, and I don't know if there's going to be a mount or what we'll get from this, but it's more story content, so cool. And if you're a Worgen, congratulations. I hope we get an actual city and it's not just a quest line and then the city is still abandoned, but we'll see. Okay, next is the Follower Dungeons. Follower Dungeons, this one's really, really cool. So this will be for the 8 original Dragonflight dungeons. Run a follower dungeon with up to 4 players, and the game will provide the roles that are missing. The system is flexible enough to make up your needs on the fly. So if you change specs, NPCs will adjust. I don't know what happens if you invite a friend in the middle of a dungeon, but that would be kind of cool. Sorry, you got to leave, NPC. My buddy wants to join. You can lead or follow. Just tell the NPC tank your preference. And the it's limited to 10 per day per account. So it's not per character, it's per account. And I guess they're limiting it initially because they want to make sure that there's not some sort of bizarre exploit that they haven't thought about, because let's be honest, the WoW player community is very clever when it comes to exploiting the game. So, yeah, let's make sure that this one's okay. Yeah, I really love this feature. I think it's great for trying out a new class, trying out a new spec, setting up your weak auras, setting up add-ons, doing macros, learning the dungeons. If you just want to learn the dungeons, learning the routes, the tank actually does a good job of doing the routes, and nice and slow and simple, so that you can go, okay, well, I can do this a little bit faster. I can pull these 2 groups at once and whatnot. But yeah, it's a really great feature. I'm so glad they put it in. I'm definitely going to be spending a lot of time doing this with different characters, especially my low level characters, and my characters who don't really have any gear. And not that you're going to get a whole bunch of gear from there. It's a normal dungeon, but it would be really good to be able to do something and practice my rotations and things like that. So definitely looking forward to the follower dungeons. There's new character customizations for trolls and Draenei, as well as customizable warlock minions. So the trolls get 5 new hair colors, Draenei get 1 new skin color, and the warlocks will get some pretty radical new pet customizations in the barbershop. So that's really fun. I find it interesting that this is treated as a patch feature. It's I don't know. Maybe save up some of these and release them all at once. Or why wasn't the new Draenei skin color released with the skin colors that were released with the last patch? Anyway, doesn't matter. So there's some new things if you're a troll, Draenei, or a warlock. Go check that out. The holiday updates. So the Lunar Festival is going to get a small update, but the Love is in the Air is going to get a big update. So there's going to be new heart-themed pets, pink stuff, whatever. There's a new pink and white Sailor Moon-esque transmog is what I like to call it. That was the first thing I thought of when I saw it. I'm like, oh, it's Sailor Moon, but pink. And there's going to be a renewed Proto-Drake armor, which is Love Armor. So have fun not getting that one. And that's it for the main updates of patch 10.2.5. There is also the Dragon Isles epilogue quest, which no doubt will be setting up the War Within pre-patch that's going to come in the next, I'd say, 6 months or so, 7 months. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure we'll get something new on some of those characters. I would suspect that we'll have something Xalatath related, at least to set up for patch 10.2.7, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So definitely check that out when you have some time. As mentioned earlier, the Revival Catalyst charges are now awarded weekly. Old world transport ships are getting HD updates, so that's pretty cool, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. There's going to be new raid buff items to fill in gaps for follower dungeons or something. I don't know. We'll see. There's a special promotion for Hearthstone Anniversary, which is coming out, so I guess it's next month. So there'll be pets, a mount, and some cosmetic items, so that'll be really cool. And the static versions of the Burden of Unrelenting Justice, the Warden armor, those will be added to the game as well. So yeah, if you have your Burden of Unrelenting Justice, because you did the trading post every month, not like me, who missed 2 months this year. I'm not bitter. Cool. You get 2 new Transmog sets, so you can have the color scheme that you want all the time instead of just in the daytime or the nighttime. Yeah, this is a good patch. There's a lot of content, but there's not a lot of new end game stuff. This is a very, like I said in the beginning, this is a very quality of life update where there's some cool new features that make things work smoother for you, but not necessarily a really amazing, oh my gosh, it's a new 3 boss raid or something. This is just a cleaning up some systems and adding some new ones. I suspect that the Azerothian archives and the follower dungeons are going to be evergreen features that will just carry on. I wouldn't be surprised if they put follower dungeons into the cycle of, like with the War Within, having the reputations for the warbands. They're going to start with the War Within and then slowly move backwards through Dragonflight and Shadowlands and BFA, etc. I wouldn't be surprised if we get that same treatment with follower dungeons, where we start getting some older ones, or maybe we'll get follower dungeons for raids. That would be pretty cool. But I think having follower dungeons for some of the leveling dungeons would be really good. Although I guess Dragonflight is the new default leveling expansion. So yeah, it doesn't matter. So if you're a brand new player and you don't know what you're doing, you'll be able to do follower dungeons pretty much right off the bat. So that's cool. Yeah, that's fun. So if your buddy is like, hey, can you run this dungeon with me? Be like, bro, just do a follower dungeon. You're good. Meet me when you get max level. Right. So, yeah. And then the Azerothian archives, it almost feels like they're trying to figure out how to make archaeology worthwhile and fun, because it's just not fun at all. It's awful. If you haven't done archaeology, there's a reason why they stopped updating it. I think the last update was in BFA, maybe. I don't remember. I know that there was an update in Legion, but yeah. So that's like I said, that's it for patch 10.2.5. And we'll move on.
It's time for the weekly rant.
So this is a small little rant that I wanted to get into. I had a fun little experience where I did the Ulduar time walking raid, which I've never done. And I picked up the quest in Old Dalaran. I guess they're both Old Dalaran now, but I picked up the quest in Crystal Song Forest Dalaran, and to kill Yogg-Saron and to loot the Titan Prisoner Matrix or whatever it is. Cool. So I did the raid, and we got through it no problem. We killed Yogg-Saron. I looted the chest, and I left the raid. Come to find out, it actually drops from Yogg-Saron's body, not the loot chest that has dropped all the loot in Ulduar since Wrath of the Lich King. So I thought, no problem, I'll just go back to the raid. Well, you can't, because it's a time walking raid. So once you leave, you can no longer get back into it. Okay, so I can't do this, or I don't have the item, and I can't turn in the quest, so I will run it again. So I ran it again. No item. dropped from the boss. So I thought, okay, something's wrong. So I put in a ticket. So I said, Blizzard, hey, what's going on? Apparently, this is by design. And this is something that Blizzard has put into the game as you get one chance to do this. If you screw it up, that's it. You're done. You are screwed. You cannot complete this quest. It's over. Now, when Wrath of the Lich King Time Walking comes back in 4 months, I can do it again. But at that point, it won't matter. I was trying to get a heroic piece of loot for my, or a heroic raid piece of loot for my Blood DK. Because I thought, hey, I'm playing this guy. I'm getting him some loot. But it really just soured the entire experience for me. And I know it's my fault. I should have paid more attention. I was in a hurry. Whatever. That's fine. I just felt like it was a really bad design. So being the genius that I am, I decided, well, I'm going to go on Reddit to complain. And so I went on Reddit to complain. And I got eviscerated. The people were not thrilled with me. In fact, I was called names. I was attacked. I was just ran over the coals. And I guess deservedly so. That's fine. You know what? I deserved it. I went on there to complain about a video game, and people pointed out that I was being entitled and whiny, and that's fine. But I was so frustrated by the experience because I thought time walking is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be a cool, hey, this is a special thing that I'm doing, and it's fun, and I'm having a good time. Not, oh, you didn't do this thing right? Well, you're fucked now. I was so frustrated. So I opened up the ticket with Blizzard, and I went back and forth with the Game Master a few times until they told me point blank that this is by design. And at that point, I just thought, does Blizzard really do that? Or are these GMs just stuck in this? Look, we don't know why the devs did it this way, so we're just going to tell people to piss off. Regardless, it was a really frustrating experience, and I really wanted somebody to talk to about it. And Reddit wouldn't listen to me, so I'm talking to my podcast now because I can. And if you don't want to hear it here, that's fine. You don't have to hear it here. But I was frustrated. So anyway, I think more than anything, what I wanted to say with regards to this is, you know what? You don't have to be negative towards people. If somebody wants to get on Reddit and complain, or get on the WoW forums and complain, that's fine. Let them complain. That's not necessary for you to jump down their throat and say, hey, well, you should have... You have no right to complain because, you know what? Let somebody air their dirty laundry. Let them get it off their chest because, you know what? Maybe they need to. Maybe they just wanted a vehicle for being able to do that. It doesn't hurt you to just leave that, move on. But the people who felt like they needed to get on my case about it and point out how wrong I was for saying something, well, you know, I don't feel like that's necessary. I don't feel like that's the type of complaining that I'm talking about here. I'm talking about hey, I'm frustrated with this situation, not, I don't like what you're doing. And I feel like that was the difference there. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to get that off my chest. So thank you for listening to my little rant about my boneheaded adventures in Ulduar time walking. There's I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for our show today. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. This has been just a dream of mine to be able to do a podcast and to know that people are actually getting the podcast and downloading it and subscribing to it. I am really thrilled about that. I'd love to hear from you if you are enjoying the podcast or if you're not or whatever. Just even if it's just a quick email that says, hey, thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't really feel like I have enough of a audience to start a Discord server, but I might at some point do that. If people want to engage and people want to talk, I'd be happy to start a Discord server and engage with people who are interested in talking about World of Warcraft and who just want to have a good time and want to be friendly. So on that topic, if you have any questions or comments, or if you just want to say anything, you can email me at denethar1 at gmail.com. Or you can catch me streaming on Twitch. I have started streaming again. It's denethar01 on twitch.tv. Or you can check out my YouTube channel, which is also at denethar01. I have reinstated my X-Twitter account because I feel the need to be able to communicate to the outside world. So that is Denethar, or at Denethar if you prefer. and my Reddit account, which is Denethar. But don't go there because I got yelled at. So, but that's it for today. I hope you enjoy the new patch in Dragonflight. Or if you're looking forward to the update for Season of Discovery in February, have fun with that as well. Getting to level 40 is going to be huge. Level 40 talents, there's so much there. We'll cover all of the Season of Discovery stuff in a future episode. But well, that's it for today. So again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. I really appreciate it. And remember, be good to each other. It doesn't hurt to be nice or to just not say anything. Being mean takes effort, and it's hard to be cruel. So just remember that when you're just living your life. All right. I love you all. Thank you. And I'll see you in